But you know, while they was doing the thing, he killed them while they was doing the thing. He took and stuck the javelin through the Simeonite, and it went all the way through the woman too. But you know, go ahead and get your heathen woman, brother.
Right.
No. Why would Phineas stand up for the law like that? Because he knew the Most High said deal with our own kind. Yes, there were exceptions. We're not going to argue that. But the Most High said, I have mercy on who I have mercy on. If I allow Moses to do it, that don't mean you could do it. I show mercy to whoever I want to.
Sure.
All right, go ahead.
Come, verse 27. And Matthias cried throughout the city with a loud voice, saying, Whosoever is zealous of the law and maintaineth the covenant, let him follow me. So he and his sons fled into the mountains and left all that ever they had in the city.
Right, see, they, once again, they had to get into that spirit of fleeing.
Right.
They had to get into that spirit of being like pilgrims and nomads. You know what I'm saying? Why? Because, you know, they was like, look, we can't stay in the main part of the city because it is an inquisition now. So if we're going to start a revolt, we got to go somewhere in the cut. All right, but they really can't. They really won't be able to find us. We got to flee. Good.
Verse 29. Then many that sought after justice and judgment went down into the wilderness to dwell there, both they and their children, and their wives, and their cattle.
Right, it said those that sought after justice and judgment, meaning other Israelites that want to stand up for the law.
Right.
All right, come on.
Because afflictions increase sore upon them.
Right, afflictions increase sore upon them. This captivity is affliction. When your enemy conquer you or conquer your land, that's affliction.
Right.
Because they're going to put you under their oppression. All right, go ahead.
Verse 31. Now when it was told the king's servants and the house that was at Jerusalem and the city of David, that certain men who had broken the king's commandment were gone down into the secret places in the wilderness, they pursued after them a great number. And having overtaken them, they camped against them and made war against them on the Sabbath day. And they said unto them, Let that which you have done hitherto suffice. Come forth and do according to the commandment of the king, and you shall live.
Right, so they try to tell Matthias, okay, you killed the messenger and you killed the Sambo Negro, but we'll still give you a chance, but you're gonna have to come and bow down to us.
Right.
We'll forgive you for what you did, but you got to come down and bow down. That's how much of an important man he was. All right, if they can get him on the team to sell out, then you know, good.
Verse 34. But they said, We will not come forth, neither will we do the king's commandment.
They said, no, we're not going to put no swine flesh on the altar. We're not going to bow down to your Zeus and your pagan gods. All right? We're going to follow the most high power of Israel. And listen, it's going to get to that in these last days, Israel. All right, it's going to get to that in these last days. You're going to have to make a choice. All right, like the scriptures tell you, as for me and my house, we're going to serve the Lord. It's going to come down to that, man. This kingdom is wicked, is evil, and it's going to come down to that. And you know, it's going to get bad out here, man.
Right.
You know, these next couple of months, you gotta watch with a microscope. You know.
Right.
And see, yeah, next few weeks, hell yeah, next week.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Hell, you know what I'm saying? I remember in the opening of Hanukkah, he was talking to one of the sisters, and she was like, well, did they approve it? I said, sis, it's approved already.
Right.
They just going to announce it like they really had to approve it, but they've been approved it.
Right.
But they came out with it yesterday. The
Right.
FDA has approved, what's today? Friday. They came out with it. The FDA has approved it. Or Thursday, one of them days. You know what I'm saying? But we was talking in the opening feast on Tuesday. I said, sis, they approved it already. They just playing mind games with you. All right? Yeah, we approve it. If you saying 2 weeks ago the vaccine gonna be shipped on the 15th, then why we gotta wait for the 10th to see if you approve it? That means you already approved it. If you said 2 weeks ago on Thanksgiving you were saying you gonna ship it before Christmas.
Right.
But now we gotta wait for it to be approved on December 10th.
Right.
It's mind games they playing, man. They've been approved it because they say it.
Right.
But the vaccine is nothing new. They've been poisoning us.
Right.
You know, from Tuskegee to AIDS to, you know, everything, man. The STDs, all that has been poison amongst our people. For them telling you that there's certain stuff you have can't be cured, that's all they've been doing. They're just turning it up now because people are not dying fast enough for Esau. He want population control, and it's not happening fast enough, so he got to turn it up because he know his days is numbered. All right, so go ahead. 100 million and 100. Yeah, we bring that out again. That Biden is the devil, man. 100 million in 100 days. That man is Satan, man. That man probably gonna be sitting there. That man gonna be sitting there, man, drinking damn Red Bull, sitting up all night just injecting people. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. Man gonna be taking uppers and everything. Right, go ahead.
Verse 34. But they said, we will not come forth, neither will we do the king's commandment.
What verse you in?
34.
Right, go ahead.
To profane the Sabbath
So
day.
they said we're not going to profane the Sabbath. So it's going to get rough. This was an inquisition. This was a time where Israel was being tested. Their faith was being tested. And the same thing will happen now. And like I said, it's going to be worse now because we're living in the end. You know, Satan going to pull out all the stops. So you got to be strong to endure what's about to come down. You know, you got to be strong, man. So, you know, brothers and sisters, put your best foot forward. We all going through something, man. You know, man, woman, child, you know, spouse, friend, relative. You know, if they don't want to get right, you got to leave them alone, man. You know, you got to keep it moving, and, you know, you can't turn back. You turn into a pillar of salt like Lot's wife.
Right.
All right, so you got to keep going, man. You know, it's Israel, man. They reach out to me, you know, like I always say, man, one of the biggest problems in our nation is the home, is the marriage situation. Everybody in them. I damn missed my flight the other damn day from counseling somebody to 3 o'clock in the damn morning. You know what I'm saying? Because Israel just can't get along. You know what I'm saying? But you better get it in order because the Most High is not playing.
Right.
And it starts from the house on down, man.
Right.
You know, and everybody all emotional about their situations. And listen, have that same emotions for the Most High Yahweh.
Right.
Sometimes that's the only time you hear from Israel. When they want you to fix their problems. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? My wife going on, brother, you know, it's my husband, somebody, he's wicked. That man is the devil. Right? Sis, I talk to the brother, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. My children are evil, elder. They don't want to do the Sabbath. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. Yeah, man. We had rock in the morning the other night. Like, yo, I don't know what to tell y'all. You know what I'm saying? Right? But, you know, we're the scriptures say in the multitude of counsel there's safety, so we here to help those situations. But, you know, Israel, we got to get it together, man. You know? We got to get it together. I'm like, damn, I ain't talked to you in like 5 years. Now you telling me your wife wearing pants? All right, brother. You know, I talk to her. You know what I'm saying? Hey, sister, I ain't seen you since Passover 2014. Yeah, I'm dealing with this wicked brother, elder. All right. Good. Maybe I can make him unwicked. I don't know, sis. I'll talk to the brother. You know what I'm saying? But that household, man, that's one of the main places Satan attacking us. I know, because in the position of leadership, that's what we get. 90% of the time, that's what people want to do, man. They want to help with their situation, but Israel can be selfish sometimes, because some of them, that's the only time you hear from them. When everything going good, you don't see them. They not at the camp, they not at the feast days, they not, you know what I'm saying? Everything going good, Most High blessing them, house doing good, they making money, everything good, you know what I'm saying? Hey, brother, when you gonna come to camp, brother? Nah, you know, I'll be with the family, I know the family. I be teaching them every Sabbath, I'm still doing the work. All right, brother. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. But Satan attacks the household because he know that's what breaks the nation down. Because when you mess the household up, that's the community, which is the nation. You know, so you got to stand fast. And I'm hearing a lot, man. You know, I'm hearing a lot of stories of people walking away. I got brothers calling me. Their women don't want to be in the truth no more. I got sisters calling me. My husband don't want to be in the truth no more. Yo, you gotta let them go. You know what I'm saying? Now you try to call me to have a 3-hour counsel with them to try to bring them back in the truth. Yo, I mean, I'll do it. Not for 3 hours.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'll try to restore brother or sister. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But I'm not begging nobody to serve the Most High. I'm not going to get in there and be your damn lawyer for me to plead your case for them to come back in the truth.
Right.
You know, I'll talk to them, but if they show no interest in the Most High, I'm not going to sit there. Well, you know, brother, come on. No. I'll talk to them. Hey, what's the problem? What are you struggling with? Sometimes people are struggling, and they don't, you know, they just need some guidance. But, you know, a lot of people walking away from this thing. You know, that's a lot of brothers and sisters hit me with that. You know, what can you do, brother, sister? But, you know, you can't worry about them but so much. You got to keep going and work out your salvation. Okay? If they're going to come back, they're going to come back. If they not, they not.
Right.
All right, read on. Oh, you shy?
Yeah. Let's get into that Matthew 24:13.
Come.
I'll bring it out.
Right.
It's the book of Matthew, chapter 24, verse 13. But he shall endure unto the end. Salaki. But he that shall endure to the end, the same shall be saved. So let's just get into that, because all of the stuff you're going through with your family, with friends, you know, real, whatever, just, you got to endure. And it's not going to be easy. The Most High, I mean, most of us have seen it, or we are seeing it, and it's not going to be easy, but that's where that endurance got to come in. You got to build up endurance, and the way we've been teaching to do that is getting a foundation with this law. Right. The law, statutes, and commandments.
That's right.
Other than that, if you got any other type of foundation, you're not going to be able to deal with it what's coming at you.
That's right. Teach.
That's right. Give me Matthew 10:34. And you got to remember, man, your family, your spouse, your children, I know it sounds harsh, man, but some of them may not make it. If they wicked and they not trying to repent, you got to keep going. You know, that's another thing with a lot of brothers and sisters. My children, they don't want to, listen, you can't force your children to want to serve the Most High, especially when they get a certain age.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Especially when they get a certain age, when they get grown, nothing you can really do. You know what I'm saying? Even when they in that teenage and young adult time, because that's when they really transition and that's when that peer pressure kicks in.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So you can only tell them and try to guide them the right way. And you say, look, if you live in my household, you got to do the commandments. But that's it. When they go out there, you can't really control what they're going to do.
Right.
You know, and that's the time we living in also. All right, read that, brother.
It's the book of Matthew, chapter 10, verse 24.
34.
Verse 34.
Go ahead.
Think not that I come to send peace on earth.
So Yahweh said, don't think I came to send peace. Everything going to be gravy, as Jake would say. Come on.
I came not to send peace,
I didn't come to send peace. Go ahead.
but a sword.
A sword. I'm coming to send destruction, death, warfare. A spiritual sword too, which is division. All right, come on.
For I am come to set a man at variance against his father.
Right, very strong opposition against his father.
Right.
Go ahead.
And the daughter against her mother.
And a daughter against her mother. Yeah. Most I said these things gonna happen. Go ahead.
And the daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law.
Daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law. All right, go ahead.
And the man's foes shall be they of his own household.
Check that out. The Lord said the man's foes should be they of his own household. So there's serious times we coming into, you know. So when you see these things, don't really think that they strange. Satan is just moving, and the Most High said it was going to happen. Now you're going to have your households that are blessed. You're going to have your households that go through problems, but with counseling and guidance and prayer, fasting, and focusing on these scriptures. You know, a lot of brothers and sisters hit me up a couple of months later. Oh, we doing good, Elder, thank you. All right, that's what's up. I thank you for that talk. Thank you for that advice. Thank you for them scriptures. Thank you for that counseling. You know, it's not all bad. Don't get me wrong.
Right.
Brothers and sisters hit me up and be like, yo, we doing good now, man. We on good terms. All right. I'm glad I was able to help. You know what I'm saying? But we living in some serious times. In other words, Yahweh is letting you know, you never know who your enemy might be.
Right.
We living in a time you don't know who it might be your spouse, your best friend, your child, the person right next to you. You know? So we got to be mindful of that. But we also in a time where we need to love and cleave unto each other more to make ourselves stronger as a nation so we can endure what's about to come down. Okay? All right, go ahead.
Matthew,
Yeah.
verse 38. And he that taketh not his cross and followeth after me,
Christ said you got to take your cross. Meaning what? You got to bear your burden. If you don't take up your cross and follow your H.O.I, go ahead.
is not worthy of me.
He said, you're not worthy of me, man. If you're not willing to go through the suffering and bear your cross, bear your burden for following me and being in this gospel and doing this work, you're not worthy of me. Okay? All right, go back to Maccabees. So that's just some encouragement for y'all because we know, especially brothers like this, like myself, that have been doing this for years, not to toot my own horn, but the spirit, we got discernment. We see what's going on. We see how Satan is attacking. All right, so we try to encourage our brothers and sisters, and you can't. We had situations where brothers and sisters were so much into their marriages and households, their family, their friends, their loved ones, they fell out the truth, trying to chase them. You know what I'm saying? They don't want it. They don't want it. You got to endure to the end. You trying to chase them and break, no, and they don't want it. You chase them so much, you fall off. So you got to stand firm in this thing. Right? Go ahead.
This is the book of 1 Maccabees, chapter 2, verse 35. So then they gave them the battle with all speed.
Right, they gave them the battle with all speed. Go ahead.
Howbeit they answered them not, neither cast they a stone at them, nor stopped the places where they lay hid, but said, let us die, all in our innocence. Heaven and earth shall testify for us that you put us to death wrongfully.
Right, so basically they was like, look, we're not going to keep trying to put rocks on the boulders, on the dungeons we hide in. Right. We're not going to listen. If y'all going to kill us, y'all going to kill us because we standing for the law. Go ahead.
So they rose up against them in battle on the Sabbath, and they slew them with their wives and children and their cattle to the number of 1,000 people.
Right, they killed 1,000 Israelites. Now, at the same time, they really wasn't being wise. They said, we just going to sit here and let y'all kill us. We're not going to fight with y'all on the Sabbath day. They was being over-righteous and not wise. All right, go ahead.
Now, when Matthias and his friends understood hereof, they mourned for them right sore. And one of them said to another, if we all do as our brethren have done.
He said, look, if we all just sit here and don't fight back and don't do nothing to defend ourselves, good.
And fight not for our lives.
And fight not for our lives. Remember what we started with, whoever was here at the beginning of the service?
Romans.
We said what? The Maccabees gave themselves as a living sacrifice.
Right.
Romans 12, 1 and 2. That's what this story is about also. That's what the Feast of Dedication is about also. All right, we know, we defeated the Greeks and, whatever, we rededicated the temple, which is very important also. But think about the sacrifice that our forefathers made to fight for their people to the point where they was willing to give their lives. You got to think about that aspect of the feast day also. So that's what the feast day encompasses all of that. That's what you celebrate also. Let's remember the sacrifice that the Maccabean brothers made, man. All right, from the father on down. Go ahead.
And laws against the heathen, they would now quickly root us out of the earth.
Right, he said, man, look, they're going to exterminate us if we don't fight, do something. Come on.
Verse 41. At that time thereof they decreed, saying, whosoever shall come to make battle with us on the Sabbath day, we will fight against him.
They said, listen, we're not going to be over righteous.
Right.
If somebody come, and just because it's the Sabbath, it's a Sabbath day, the day of rest and worship, all right, we can't fight. We're going to just sit here and kill us. I'm reading the Torah, I'm praising the Most High on the Sabbath, but you coming to kill me, all right, I'm doing the Sabbath, so I ain't going to fight you back. I'm going to just die. No. That's how you know Matthias was a G, man. He's like, now the hell with that, man. The most I understand, if this cat trying to come kill me, although it's a Sabbath, I'll put him to death first. The most I understand that. Right? He said, if we sit back, they'll wipe us out if we all do that. Right? Go ahead.
Neither will we die neither will we die all.
He said we're not going to die all. Some of us going to fight and live.
Right.
All right, because we're going to fight to the death.
Right.
Right, come on.
As our brethren that were murdered in the secret places.
Right, they were murdered. They were hiding, and the Greek armies went and pursued them in secret places in the wilderness and dens. Can't tell you, throughout the Maccabees, they was hiding wherever they can hide. And they still pursued after them and killed them, man. All right, come on.
Verse 42. Then came there unto him a company of Assyrians.
Assyrians. The word Assyrian means pious ones. All right, these were brothers that was upstanding for the law. All right, that's what the word. You ever heard of Hasidic Jew? Hasidic Jew, that comes from the term Assyrians. There was a sect of Israelites that was pious for the law. All right, yeah. Look up the word pious real quick. Pious. Look that up and read the definition of that. Assyrians. That's where you get the word Hasidic or Hasidic Jews from. All right, but that was our people. There was Israelites back then. See, back then you had different groups also. Like you had the Essenes and Essenes. They were around during the time of H.O.I, but they went all the way back to Moses. All right, the Pharisees, they were around during the H.O.I time, but their original sect went back during the ancient time. So you had different groups of Israel back then that believed in different things. All right, so this was another group, but they stood up for the law. So it said they came to Judas and said, "Look, we're gonna fight with y'all too." That goes to show you, although you might be a different congregation, a different group, but we all trying to stand for the laws of the Most High. We don't work together, we all finished.
Right.
All right, go ahead, read that.
The word pious definition is devotedly religious.
What did it say?
Devotedly religious.
They was devotedly, but meaning what? They were strict with the law.
Right.
They were devoted to serving the Most High. So that's what the Assyrians were. They were pious ones. They were devoted ones to the Most High. All right, ones of devotion. All right, and that's where you get the sect of so-called white Jews now called Hasidic. Hasidic is a play on the word Assyrian. Okay? All right, go ahead.
Verse 43.
But Salakia, my main point was everybody that wanted to stand for the law of the Most High, they banded together and fought together. All right? What that brother just did that video, Unite or Die. What's the brother that does the radio show? I forget the brother's name. All right? Inside the Nation. Inside the Nation radio show. He just did some madness just recently went on in Israel. We ain't got to talk about it, y'all. If y'all been watching, y'all seen it. You know what I'm saying? But the brother was kind of furious, and the brother was like, unite or die. He did a video called Unite or Die. But even with that, you can't force camps to come together. You can't force brothers to come together. And some cats I'm not dealing with. I'll take it straight up. You can say you off elder, the elder don't want to unify. You know what I'm saying? I'm good. You know what I'm saying? Certain cats I'm not dealing with, straight up, until things get a little bit better. And they can say the same about me, you know what I'm saying, or H.O.I, but nah. I'm not going to just come together just to come together for unity, nah, and things got to be properly done. Let everything be done decently and in order, okay? So the brothers are getting so upset and worked up about things going on in the nation, but you can't force brothers to come together. It's sad or whatever, but it is what it is. It got to be the right spirit. But see, here, they all knew if we don't come together and fight, these Greeks going to wipe us out. Y'all want to stand for the law. We want to stand for the law. We might be a different group. We the Assyrians. Y'all come out of the priestly line. But guess what? We got the same agenda for our wives, our families, and our loved ones to keep the laws of the Most High and be blessed by the Most High. We need to fight together. See, Israel ain't thinking about that now. Now Israel thinking about, they got to get more views than you. I ain't got to come together with you. When I need to come together, that's going to take away from what I'm doing. Not realizing Biden want to give 100 million vaccines in 100 days. Man, we need to maybe try to work together. But I ain't really one to try to force nobody to do nothing or just we gotta come together, brother. That ain't my spirit, man. man. It's going to be done the right way through the Spirit of the Most High Yahweh. But are there righteous examples of it? Yeah, right here. This were the Assyrians. They were a separate group, but they was all about the laws of the Most High. So they said, let's come together to fight these Greeks. All right.
So it's symbolic to the camps of today coming together?
No, because the camps of today ain't coming together. This was just an incident where in the ancient times it showed a zeal of our people coming together for the Most High. Camps ain't really coming together now. If you check it out, there might be a unity camp or brothers get along with each other. We might do a feast day here and there, and H.O.I. we've been kind of falling back because we just want to get things right internally. We've been dealing with a lot of internal stuff, and it starts internally and then it affects us externally eventually. So we've been dealing with a lot of that. So we love all the camps and our brothers, but we just been trying to concentrate on what we doing because we've seen a lot of little funny stuff over the last couple of years. But camps got to come together under the right spirit. You know what I'm saying? Because even when brothers be coming together, I've been around tons of that. I still be seeing funny style stuff going on. You know what I'm saying? I still be seeing little sneaky stuff. I still be seeing plots and schemes and jealousy and envy and competition, even when brothers supposed to be coming together. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes you just got to clean up your own house and get your house right, and then maybe go to somebody else and say, I got my house right, you need to get yours right. Or let's get ours right together. But camps going to come together by the will of the Most High Yahweh. That's all I can say. I don't know how else to say it. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how else to say it. And I'm not forcing no unity with nobody. Yes, as an elder, I'm going to say that. I'm not doing it. If we going to come together, it's going to be of the Most High. I'm not going to just come together so we can smile on Facebook. You know what I'm saying? I'm not doing that. You know what I'm saying? Been there, done that. We going to come together because the Most High Yahweh said so. And it's going to be the right spirit guided by him.
Right.
If it ain't that, shalom. All right, I just keep doing what I'm doing and may the Most High have mercy. And I'm not against unity, but it got to be unity the right way. You know what I'm saying? So we've been kind of just building our house. We still show love. We always been a camp that show love, but we kind of been trying to concentrate on us because it's just stuff we've been through. When you go high up the food chain, it's just stuff we've been through. Like, we got to nip some of this in the bud. Because, it just... Shia can tell you. Rob Judah, Howard too, Brothers can tell you, man. We had to just, for lack of a better expression, self-preservation. You know what I'm saying? Like Matthias is saying here, if we don't do something, they gonna wipe us all out.
Right.
So if we don't do something, brothers gonna come along and sabotage the whole camp, the whole body.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So next thing you know, everybody from H.O.I. don't believe in the law or something like that.
Right.
Or whatever the doctrine is out there, you know what I'm saying? So if you don't, so you know what I'm saying? There's no folly, but you know what I'm saying? But I'm just using an example.
Yeah.
So if you don't do something to stop, like Matthias is doing here, like if we don't fight, if we don't do something, we just gonna sit here and let them wipe us out.
Right.
So it's like, hold up, if we don't G-check certain things internally, they gonna try to infiltrate the whole camp, the whole body. Next thing you know, I'm back in Times Square teaching by myself.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? One man H.O.I. Got to try to build a camp back up all over again. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody that got, not to take away from my brothers, y'all strong, but I'm just hypothetically speaking. If brothers could get in there and manipulate, they gonna do it because there's a lot of snakes in the grass. You know what I'm saying? You come together with a camp, next thing you know, 5 men from your camp is with that camp now. How that happen? Because we brothers been around each other and getting in brothers' ears, getting brothers' numbers, and next thing you know. And Israel is cutthroat. They don't care.
Oh, yeah.
Israel is cutthroat. Israel could take your men, they gonna do it.
They gonna do it, yeah.
And smile in your face and say, it wasn't like that, huh?
Nope, it wasn't like that.
We brothers, huh? Bring it out. I'm just giving y'all the real, man. I don't mean to bring out the dirty laundry.
You ain't lying.
It might be galvanizing y'all a little bit, but it's the real. I'm gonna give you the real. We are a damaged people, even with the truth in our hand.
Right.
All right?
Yeah. So like for all the novices or people that just not used to dealing with brothers and sisters yet, over righteousness can be, it can be you know, it could be a flaw to a certain degree. Over righteousness, you know, I'm looking for the word that I'm thinking of, but it leads to being naive. And one thing you don't want to do in the world or in Israel is be naive. You know what I mean? You gotta be wise. So over righteousness leads to a certain level of not having wisdom.
Right.
So
Yeah,
we
proud.
just dealing with wisdom. We just dealing with wisdom over here at H.O.I. That's all. It ain't like we don't have a spirit of separation. We're just being wise.
Yep.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And it's still all love, brothers. I still talk to brothers and sisters from plenty camps. So that ain't nothing. You know, I'm close with brothers and sisters in other camps. You know, some of their leaders, if they knew about it, they might not be happy. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? But I got love. You know what I'm saying? We deal with. You know, I talk to all of Israel, but it just is self-preservation sometimes. Man. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, those family members, I only see around the holidays. You know what I'm saying? I don't really see them that much, you know what I'm saying? But we love all of Israel, man. We got nothing personal, no malice, no grudges. We ain't making 1,000 videos about brothers. You will never see that with H.O.I. because I don't tolerate it.
Yeah.
I don't tolerate that spirit in the camp, so you won't see that from us. If brothers would say, yo, this cat running his mouth, I'm gonna clap back at him. All right, Doc, what's the situation? All right, say something, state the facts, and leave it alone. Don't go back and forth. Don't go tick for tack, whatever the case may be. You know, don't go into personal stuff. We know about the brother when he was in the camp. When you counseled the brother for 2 hours, now I'm gonna tell all his business. No, that's messy and tacky.
Yep.
We're not doing that. They could do that, and we could clap back and be petty, but nah. All right, we're gonna keep our integrity. You know, so that's what it's about. But we love all of Israel, man. It's just our people are a hard nation to deal with, even with the Bible in hand.
Yep.
And we still got a long way to go. That's why this affliction is about to come down to shake Negroes up. All right, so read on.
The book of 1 Maccabees, chapter 2, verse 42 from the top. Then came there unto him a company of Assyrians, who were mighty men of Israel.
Okay, we're gonna get ready to, get into this word and start winding it down eventually so we can fellowship. But everybody be patient. All right, the word is coming out. Go ahead.
Even all such as were voluntarily devoted unto the law.
Right, see that? Devoted unto the law, like the Assyrians. Go ahead.
Also all they that fled for persecution joined themselves unto them, and were a stay unto them. So they joined their forces and smote sinful men in their anger, and wicked men in their wrath.
See that? So in them coming together, they start killing off wicked Israelites. They start saying, yo, these dudes that's selling out the nation, that's doing us dirty, they start killing them off. All right, come on.
But the rest fled to the heathen for succor.
Right, secure, meaning aid or help. All right, so a lot of our people back then, they wanted to be down with the Greeks, but if Matthias and them caught them slipping, they was killing them. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, so they start running. Now that's a revolution.
Yeah.
When you got the sellouts running to the oppressor, that's a revolution right there. You know, save us from the hand of Matthias and Judas, man. They killing us off if we not down with the program. Good.
Those are like back then. Those were the coons back then. They was getting rid of the coons back then.
Yeah. It was killing them, man. You know what I'm saying? That's why Khalid Muhammad, may that brother rest in power, man. He said, "Listen, I believe in my God and I believe in my gun." You know what I'm saying? He said, "My gun is mainly for the white man, but it also can be a Negro repellent when necessary." That brother Khalid was fire, man.
Yeah,
that brother was fire, man. He was learning the truth when he died.
Yeah, I heard he was going to come into the truth.
He was coming into the truth when he died. That might be a reason why they killed him. Or they expedited his killing. Because they wanted to kill him for a while. You know what I'm saying? From the days when he broke off from Farrakhan, they wanted to kill him. But the brother was saying, "Listen, man, my guns ain't really for my own people. But they are a Negro repellent when necessary, because these sellouts, they'll kill you and betray you quicker than Esau.
Yeah, Judas.
You know? Right, so read on.
Verse 45. Then Matthias and his friends went round about and pulled down the altars. And what children soever they found within the coast of Israel uncircumcised, those they circumcised valiantly.
Right, bravely. They said, listen, to hell with that. You ain't finna come and kill a child and hang him around the neck of the sisters and march them through the city. You're going to have to deal with us. We're going to circumcise the child and you're going to have to deal with us. Come on.
They pursued also after proud men, and the works and the work prospered in their hand. So they recovered the law out of the hand of the Gentiles and out of the hand of kings, neither suffered they the sinner to triumph. Now when the time drew near that Matthias should die, he said unto his sons, now hath pride and rebuke gotten strength, and the time of destruction and the wrath of indignation. Verse 50. Now therefore, my sons, be ye zealous for the law, and give your lives for the covenant of your fathers.
Yeah, there you go. That's that Romans 12:1 again.
Right.
He said, give your lives. Give your body a living sacrifice. All right, give your lives. Right? Come on.
Verse 51. Call to remembrance what acts our fathers did in their time, so shall ye receive great honor and an everlasting name.
Come on.
Was not Abraham found faithful in temptation, and it was imputed unto him for righteousness?
Right, when Abraham was about to sacrifice his son, Isaac, in Genesis. He was about to give his own son. And the Most High said, no, no, no. Right, I'll take a lamb. You know what I'm saying? He tested his devotion. And Abraham, you know, it was credited to him for righteousness. All right, come on.
Verse 53. Joseph, in the time of his distress, kept the commandment and was made Lord of Egypt.
Right, remember Joseph, they try to accuse Joseph of adultery.
Right.
All right, and Joseph stood strong. Well, the woman tried to entice him first.
Right, she did. Right.
She tried to entice him, and then he rejected her,
Right.
and then she tried to lie on him. But his integrity got him cleared, and he became Lord over Egypt.
Right.
Right? That's why when his brothers came, he was able to show them favor.
Right.
After they sold him,
Right. Right.
you know, that was an Ephraim, man. That's a heavy. Well, Joseph, that's a heavy example of forgiveness, man.
Right.
And he sold him, man. They was gonna kill him.
Right.
And Judah was like, nah, let's get some money for him. You know what I'm saying? Judah thinking about a dollar. Right. Judah said, nah, don't kill him. Get some bread, get some money for him. Sell him as a slave. And he sold him to the Ishmaelites. He ended up in Egypt. And he forgave them. They cried when they figured out it was Joseph.
Right.
They broke down and cried. And Joseph said, y'all meant it to me for evil, but the Most High turned it to good.
Right.
So like I'm paraphrasing, you know, y'all know the story in Genesis with the latter chapters of Genesis with Joseph. All right, come on.
Verse 54. Phineas, our father, in being zealous and fervent, obtained the covenant of an everlasting priesthood.
There you go. You know, Phineas, all right, Phineas stood for the covenant. He slayed a Simeonite brother for sleeping with an Ishmaelite woman. All right, and the Most High blessed him for that. Now, we don't take the law into our own hands nowadays. If or when that time was to come, the Most High would show us, he would give us the power, and he would show us. Okay? All right, go ahead. Some of these Negroes, you want to, though. Want to put your hands on some of these Negroes, man. So evil. But, you know, wait upon the Most High. You know, go ahead.
Verse 55. Jesus, for fulfilling the word, was made a judge in Israel.
By Joshua.
Joshua,
Right, come on.
Caleb, for bearing witness before the congregation, received the heritage of the land. David, for being merciful, possessed the throne of an everlasting kingdom.
Right, because the Most High told David that through his seed, there was still a king on Israel forever. Who's that king? Yahweh Shah.
Yeah.
Y'all sure?
Yeah, y'all
Right.
shot.
Right. Go ahead. All right. Bring it out, brother.
Are you saying Yahshua and Yahushua are the same people?
Yeah, no, they're not the same people, but it's the same when you change it into the Greek. But Yahushua's name is different because he said the Father's name would be in his name. But technically, if you say Yahushua or Yahshua, or like they say in modern Hebrew, Yahshua, it's all different forms of Joshua. Those are all different forms. But Yahushua's name stands alone. All right, so go ahead. But when it says Jesus here, that's just Greek for Joshua. All right, go ahead.
Verse 58, Elias, for being zealous and fervent for the law, was taken up into heaven.
Right, remember Elijah didn't see death.
Right.
All right, he was taken up. When you read 2 Kings, he was taken up into a chariot, and then he gave Elisha a double portion of his power, of his spiritual power. All right, but Elijah didn't see death like regular man. When his days was up, the Most High had a chariot just take him straight up, like Enoch.
Right.
Same thing happened with Enoch.
Right.
All right, that's a great way to go out, man.
Yeah.
Most High's like, yo, I ain't gonna even let you die. I'm gonna just take you right to the spirit realm. You don't suffer no pain. You're not getting shot, right? You ain't getting a vaccine from Biden. All right, 100 million in 100 days. All right, go ahead.
Oh, man. Verse 59, Ananias, Azarias, and Misael, by believing, were saved out of the flame. Daniel, for his...
That's Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. They were saved out of the fiery furnace. Go ahead.
Right. Daniel, for his innocence, was delivered from the mouth of lions.
Right, Daniel was saved out of the lion's den. All right? You can read all them stories in the book of Daniel.
Right.
Right, come on.
And thus consider ye throughout all ages that none that put their trust in him.
So Matthias is giving like a pep talk.
Right.
He's giving like a war pep talk to, because he's like, I'm about to die.
Right.
So he said, listen, y'all got to remember, all these stories I'm giving you examples of, that whenever somebody was of the Most High, and they put their trust in him, they was all delivered, no matter what. He giving them various situations. Right. Joseph in Egypt, Daniel in the lion's den, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego in the fiery furnace. They was all, no matter what the situation was, those was men of the Lord, so they were delivered. Okay? Right, come on.
That none that put their trust in him,
None that put their trust in the Most High, the Mashiach Yahushua, go ahead,
shall be overcome.
you're not going to be overcome. The Most High going to deliver you. Right, come on.
Verse 62. Fear not then the words of a sinful
Don't
man,
fear the words of this sinful man. All right, come on.
for his glory shall be dung and worms.
His glory shall be what?
Dung and worms.
His glory going to be dung and worms, death. All right, his glory is going to be dung and worms. And remember, in our land, we had a place called Gehenna. That's what they say it as hell. All right, it's one of the translations for hell, where there was a portion of the land where you died and then your body got thrown in this fiery pit, and your body just burnt up and died and rotted, and the worms and everything would come and eat you. Yeah, look it up. All right, so they said, listen, this man is going to be like that, because that was considered like what they call like a disrespectful death. That means the Most High, he killed you and disrespected you. You know what I'm saying? So that was a valley that we had, and these bodies would be thrown there, and they would just burn and rot, right? And worms would come and eat the bodies, and what they call it, a maggot now.
Maggots.
Yeah. So that's what Matthias was saying. He said that that's what's going to happen to their bodies, man. Oh, that's what the word I'm looking for, a shameful death. Right. Where they're going to get a shame. You know how some people die, you like, damn, Most High did them dirty, man. Right. Got get shot, stabbed, set on fire, thrown off a roof. Right. Yeah, man, I got that. When you shot him, he was dead. Right. Then you stabbed him, then you set him on fire and threw him off a roof. Right. And that's a true story, too. That happened to a Jake in Harlem. Yeah, they stabbed a man, shot him, set him on fire, and then threw him off the damn roof. Lucky they didn't get burnt up. You know what I'm saying? Trying to throw him off the roof. Yeah.
What did he do?
Yeah, man. Right. Another one of my friends, they shot him, and They realized he wasn't dead. Then they took him out by the airport. They stabbed him up, cut his body up, and then set him on fire. Yeah. Yeah. These are real stories, man. And you know, he was a foul dude, so you know, he was kind of out there. So, you know, Most High did him dirty like that, man. Like what he did to people certain times, you know.
You said it was a friend of yours?
Yeah, no. The second one was somebody I knew. Yeah, the first one was some story I read in the paper in Harlem, in New York. But the second dude, I knew him. He was a little shorty from around the way. You know, and did him dirty, man. You know, but and I can go on and on. There's so many stories in the hood with cats. They died horrible, shameful death. But some of them, if you know their track record, you know most I did them how they live, how they did people, you know. Right, go ahead.
Verse 63. Today he shall be lifted up, and tomorrow he shall not be found, because he is returned into his dust, and his thought is come to nothing.
Go ahead.
Wherefore you, my sons, be valiant, and show yourselves men in the behalf of the law, for by it shall you obtain glory.
Yeah, it said be valiant, meaning be brave, and show yourself men according to the law. Go ahead. So he was giving them a speech of encouragement before he died himself. He was like, keep this war going. You know, just because I die, don't give up, man. Keep fighting for the people. Right, come on.
Verse 65, and behold, I know that your brother Simon is a man of counsel. Give ear unto him always, he shall be a father unto you. As for Judas Maccabeus, he had been mighty and strong, even from his youth up.
Right, so he said, you know, Judas was always a man of war from his youth. He was always a young mighty warrior. So that's where he earned the nickname Maccabees or Maccabath, and the whole family eventually, because of Judas, he was such a strong member of that family, the whole family became known by that moniker. All right, come on.
Let him be your captain and fight the battle of the people.
Right, so let him be your captain and fight the battles for you. All right, come on.
Verse 67, take also unto you all those that observe the law, and avenge ye the wrong of your people.
So he said, listen, man, gather up all the other Israelites that want to observe the law. You know what I'm saying? Gather them up, because, you know, if y'all all stand for the law, y'all can fight together. Y'all have the same purpose, same desire. See, all this confusion nowadays, you can barely do that with Israel. There's always some confusion. Brothers going to get together, but it's going to be doctrine. It's going to be pride. It's going to be this. It's going to be that. It's going to be something, you know? Good.
Verse 68, recompense fully the heathen, and take heed to the commandments of the law. So he blessed them and was gathered to his fathers. And he died in the 146th year, and his sons buried him in the sepulchre of his fathers at Modin. And all Israel made great lamentation for him.
See that? So Matthias, which started the Maccabean revolt, he stood up, he gave them a pep talk and said, keep the war going. So now Judas is going to come and take over. And when you read chapters 3 and 4, he's going to fight the Greeks and defeat them. And then they're going to take back the temple, they're going to cleanse the temple, and they're going to rededicate the temple to the Most High. All right, jump over to 1 Maccabees 4 and 36. We'll go over chapter 3 and 4 tomorrow. All right, Most High willing, whoever's able to make it to the new moon service. All right, and day 6 of Chaanakah. So we just covered chapters 1 and 2 to give just some of the basic history and, to read the story together. Okay? Read it on your own. Look up the historical factors in it. I mean, the history is just too vast to go into, man. We'll be here till 7 in the morning, man. You see, we was 15, 20 minutes just on the first verse.
Right.
All right, so there's a lot of this Maccabean history is extensive, man. It was a lot of characters and names, a lot of the Greek generals and the leaders, and they was assassinating each other, and it is a lot of history. So, just get into it when you get time. But we just want to give an overview, of the basic story. First Maccabees 4:36.
It's the book of First Maccabees, chapter 4, verse 36. Then said Judas and his brethren, behold, our enemies are discomforted. Let us go up to cleanse and dedicate the sanctuary.
So when you get into chapters 3 and 4, it's dealing with Judas' beginning war campaigns. His beginning war campaigns against the Greeks, and he eventually defeats the Greeks and take back possession of the temple. Okay? Now when you read Second Maccabees goes more in depth. It goes more in intricate detail with Judas's wars from the beginning all the way through his war career. All right, but First Maccabees, it just touches on like the beginning of his war career. All right, go ahead. Jump down to 52. Now keep verse 36 in mind. Go ahead.
Verse 52. Now on the 5 and 20th day of the 9th month, which is called the month Caslu, in the 148th year, they rose up betimes in the morning and offered sacrifice according to the law upon the new altar of burnt offerings which they had made.
Right, so when you check it out, verse 52 on down, when you read chapters 3 and 4, this is the finalization of them taking and rededicating the temple and establishing the Feast of Dedication, or the Hanukkah. Right, go ahead.
Verse 54. Look at what time and what day the heathen have profaned it. Even in that was it dedicated with songs and citherns and harps and cymbals. Then all the people.
So like in verse 54, anybody know why it says, look at what time and what day the heathen have profaned it? Even in that was it dedicated with songs and citherns and harps and cymbals. Don't yell out. Anybody know why it says that?
Is it because it wasn't on the actual Sabbath day?
No. It said, look at what time and day the heathen have profaned it. The answer is within itself.
Right. If I'm not mistaken.
But it's still a trick question. Rob Judah.
The disrespect of that day, or disrespect that day of the feast day, or am I getting close? I'm kind of there in the doorway.
Not warm, but a little lukewarm.
Okay.
Yeah, how would I?
If I'm not mistaken, I believe it's the same exact time frame, maybe a couple years later or some years later. It's the same exact time frame in which the heathen came. It's the same time frame in which they dedicated it back.
Not time frame,
Okay.
but actual day.
Right.
The same day that the heathens defiled the temple 3 years earlier is the same day that the Most High allowed them to cleanse it 3 days later, and the Most High turned it into a feast day. So it's like, let's say September 11th. Let's say September 11th. Let's say we had a school, a temple, and Esau ran into our temple on September 11th. All right, and then whatever city we in, 3 years later, the Most High destroys that police department. Their police headquarters blows up, and we make a day of celebration out of it. And we be like, yo, that's the same day they raided the school 3 years ago. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And the Most High judged them. So it's the same thing. Okay. Because what happened is Judas defeated Gorgias. And on the same exact day, 3 years earlier, that they defiled the temple, 3 years later, after Judas defeated Gorgias, which was one of the Greek military generals, they cleansed and dedicated the temple back to the Most High on the same exact day. Okay. The 25th of the 9th month, which, was this past Tuesday for us, according to the new moon. But tonight, we just having an extra celebration of the Hanukkah for the 5th night. But the 25th is the opening, and the closing is the 8th day. All right? But, we in the midst, so all 8 days are days of celebration. All right? You can do something actually for all 8 days. Right. If you had time and, we had time to come together like that. Right. I know years ago when we had the schools and stuff in New York, you know, brothers would come out of school. Oh yeah, 4th day of Hanukkah, let's get some drinks, cook some food, you know what I'm saying, kick it, read some scriptures, whatever, pray. Yeah, you know, let's just come out of school and just celebrate, you know. It don't necessarily have to be the opening or the closing. We would always do the opening and closing, but the days in between we would try to come together also. Okay? You know, we would have like maybe a movie night or a game night for the children. Or 5th night of Hanukkah, bring all the children, it's going to be game night. You know, stuff like that, just for us to fellowship throughout the 8 days. Okay? All right, good.
Verse 55. Then all the people fell.
And Salaka, y'all can read that in 1 Maccabees, the 1st chapter, verses 54 on down. About it being the same exact day that the heathen defiled the temple, that it was cleansed by Judas and the Maccabees on the same day a couple of years later. Go ahead.
Verse 55. Then all the people fell upon their faces, worshiping and praising the God of heaven, who had given them good success. And so they kept the dedication of the altar 8 days, and offered burnt offerings with gladness, and sacrificed the sacrifice of deliverance and praise. They decked also the forefront of the temple with crowns of gold.
And yes, they did decorate.
Right.
They did decorate. They livened the temple up. So if you decorate, you're not trying to be like Christmas.
Right.
All right. Israel got creative this year with them decorations too.
Yeah.
I was looking on Instagram, Facebook. I was like, all right. Okay, go ahead.
And with shields and the gates.
But nobody's better than our decorations. We got fringes on our joint. Right? Now they really gonna give me that. They really gonna call us Pharisees now. Yeah. All right. They gonna really call us Pharisees now. Right?
Zoom in on that one.
You guys is Pharisees. Right? They really call us Pharisees now. They got that evil star of Molech. Right? Match the camel garments and everything.
Yeah.
All right? But we just put our spirit into it. That's all. All right? It's just some damn material we put together to make the feast day look nice. This one is just too over righteous.
Too over righteous.
You trying to be like Christmas. All right? No, it said they decked the temple here with, and they had crowns of gold. They had some real decorations up there. Solid gold. Right. You know, we just doing a little bit. We do add a little flavor, but you know, everything we do, it outdoes the heathen anyway.
Right.
Like I said, I was looking, man. I was like, damn, some of you brothers and sisters, man, especially the sisters. And the sisters get all into it. But I was looking at some of the sisters' posts on Facebook, Instagram stuff. They had some nice decorations. And their houses looking real nice for the feast. Nothing wrong with that. We reading it right here. All right? Read on.
And the gates.
And the water for you sisters for these beautiful decorations tonight. Real nice, you know.
I have a question real quick.
Go
So
ahead.
where does this story come from that we all grew up with, like Hanukkah's about some oil burning or some candles burning for 8 days or oil in a temple? When I was growing up, that was...
We're gonna read right now. Read on.
Okay.
And the gates and the chambers they renewed, and hang doors upon them. Thus was there very great gladness among the people, for that the reproach of the heathen was put away. Moreover, Judas and his brethren, with the whole congregation of Israel, ordained that the days of the dedication of the altar should be kept in their season from year to year by the space of 8 days.
There's your answer right there. They ordained for the feast to be kept for 8 days. It had nothing to do with no oil. They only had 1 day of oil and it lasted for 8 days. They ordained it that day because they patterned it after what? When Solomon dedicated the temple, when he finished the temple, he dedicated it for 8 days. Nehemiah had a dedication of fire for 8 days, and the Feast of Tabernacles was 8 days. So they patterned it after that. They didn't. It wasn't had nothing to do with the oil. That's Jewish folklore. All right, yeah, they actually had a site, but I think they took it down. They had a site about that years ago. I think it was actually jewishfolklore.com. But I doubt if it's still up. It might be, but or was it a book? Either one of them. It was history about Jewish folklore. It was all the things that they made up and put into the Jewish religion that had nothing to do with actual scripture and custom. Because it's not. Now I remember brothers in the truth would always say it was in the Josephus, and I was like, brothers, don't be reading because it's not in the Josephus. I read the story of Hanukkah in the Josephus several times, and I was like, where do brothers get that is in the Josephus? It's not there. Judas never said nothing about it was only 1 day of oil and it lasted for 8 days. That's not in the Josephus. It's in like the Midrash and those Jewish folklore writings. It's in their writings, but it's not in scripture or history, any legitimate scripture or history, even Josephus, which he wrote from the beginning to the time of H.O.I. Even it doesn't say nothing about that. And I had to correct brothers one time because brothers used to say that. And they didn't even really read the Josephus. You know what I'm saying? They got it from somebody that just repeated it. Right. I'm like, you got to actually read it.
Regurgitate information.
Yeah, I said, where in the Josephus? I read the, I should have brought my Josephus too. It's in my house in Cali. But it said, when you read, it breaks down the Feast of Dedication in the Josephus. Judas said nothing about some oil that was only 1 day and lasted for 8 days. That's a Jewish folklore. All right, that's like in the Midrash and some of their writings, but it's not in scripture and the history. All right, good. So there's anybody ever say that? You taking the first Maccabees of 4, what verse is that?
59.
59. They ordained from the beginning. Now this is the first day. All this is when you go up, it tells you that this was the 5 and 20th day of the 9th month. Right. So they ordained to keep it for 8 days because they were patterning it after other celebrations in Israel. That was for 8 days. All right, go ahead.
From the 5 and 20th day of the month Caslu, with mirth and gladness.
Come on.
At that time also they builded up the Mount Sion with high walls and strong towers round about, lest the Gentiles should come and tread it down, as they had done before. And they set there a garrison to keep it, and fortified Bethshura to preserve it, that the people might have a defense against Idumea.
There we go. Wow. That's another way you can prove Esau is Edom. Idumea is the Greek way of saying Edom.
Right.
And who we fighting against. Now somebody, let's say, a gaysayer might say, well, there were different nations in the Greek army. But who was the main enemy? It was the Greeks. It was Edomites. All right? And what? They called them Idumea. Or, which is the Greek way of saying Edom. And we showed earlier, sister asked a question, but, she kind of did it for everybody's edification. But, tracing Esau out of the scriptures. All right? There was another one. I'm going to find it. I'll find it and bring it out maybe in tomorrow's class. In Esther, it was another one where Haman said straight up that Mordecai said straight up that Haman wasn't of the blood or something about being a stranger. I know we read the one in the Apocrypha, but it's also one in the scriptures. All right, so we was fighting against Edom many times, man. And the Most High had us delivered, and He made us have set up feast days out of it. Okay? All right, so go from there to Daniel's 8. Daniel's 8. I just want to show you. We went over this on Tuesday night, but we're going to go over it again. All right, go to Daniel 8, and we won't get, I was going to do from 1, but we'll jump to the point. Let's go to 8. And I'm going to let it speak for itself. Daniel's 8 and 8. All right, Daniel chapter 8, verse 8. And everybody have it, Chaanakah? Remember, Israel, go back over these notes. Every year when the feast days come up, you should have knowledge of the feast day from the prior year.
Okay.
Right? All right. You should know like what the feast day is about. You should know you may not remember everything. That's why every year you go back over it for a refresher. But you should know the basics of it, kind of the gist of what you're celebrating every year. But you know the Most High, He know Israel hard-headed. We forget. We got short attention span. So He said, do it every year, man. He said, do it every year because y'all will forget. Y'all will. 5 years go by, be like, what is Feast of Dedication? What's that? So the Most High said, no, do it every year. You're going to repeat it year after year after year so you can remember it. Okay? Right? And look forward to the feast days, right? Don't make it a burden. All right? Look forward to it. We know it's a sacrifice sometimes, money, travel. You know, it can be a sacrifice, a hell of a sacrifice, but do it for the love and the passion of this truth, man, in your nation. All right? Don't make it a burden. All right, go ahead.
It's the book of Daniel, chapter 8, verse 8. Therefore, the he-goat waxed very great.
And we showed you earlier the he-goat was Alexander the Greek.
Right.
When you read the 21st verse and you link it up with 1 Maccabees 1:1. So, what Daniel is doing, Daniel already spoke about the 4 kingdoms in Daniel, the 2nd chapter and the 7th chapter. But in Daniel 8, he's going to give a reiteration of the prophecy that he already gave us. Because the Most High put it on Daniel to speak about 4 of the major kingdoms that will rule in history. All right, go ahead.
And when he was strong, the great horn was broken.
The great horn was broken, which is Alexander, meaning Alexander died. All right, come on.
And for it came up 4 notable ones toward the 4 winds of heaven.
Right, that's Alexander's 4 main generals that he parted his kingdom amongst, which was Lycomesus, if I was pronounced that wrong. Ptolemy, we read about 2 of them earlier. Ptolemy, Lysimachus, Cassander, and Seleucus. Y'all can look them up in history, all right? Just look up do some homework. Alexander's 4 main generals. And they all had a piece of his kingdom after he died. He parted his kingdom among them. That's the 4 notable ones that came out of the horn. Okay? And y'all can look up the spellings too for yourselves. This is right there in the history. Do a little homework. Right? Come on.
Verse 9. And out of one of them came forth a little horn.
That little horn is Antiochus Epiphanes. Remember in 1 Maccabees we read, it said, then came out of them a wicked root. That little horn is that wicked root, is the same thing. The little horn is the wicked root that came out of the Seleucid Empire. All right, go ahead.
Which waxed exceeding great toward the south.
It said the exact wax exceeding great towards the south, which was like Egypt, because he was in Syria, so he came down and invaded Egypt. Go ahead.
And toward the east.
Go ahead, and other parts in different lands. Go ahead.
And toward the pleasant land.
And towards the pleasant land, which is Jerusalem, Israel. Now remember, we read in 1 Maccabees 1 that when he left Egypt, which was the south, he came and invaded Jerusalem. All right, come on. That was Antiochus Epiphanes the 4th. All right, that's who this is. Anybody know what the name Epiphanes means?
Yeah, they charge off it to 100%.
Don't yell out. So Bible. Yeah, it's God manifests. Because a lot of times these Edomite rulers, they would give themselves those kind of names and monikers to exalt themselves. All right, go ahead. He said, I'm God. He said, I'm God manifests on the earth. Like a person has an epiphany, a manifestation from God. He was Antiochus Epiphanes. I am the manifestation of God on the earth. All right, go ahead.
Verse 10. And it waxed great even to the host of heaven.
It waxed great to the host of heaven, meaning what? The Israelites. All right, the host of heaven represents the Israelites. Come on.
And it cast down some of the hosts and of the stars to the ground.
Right, the host and the stars represents Israel. You read Revelation, the 12th chapter. All right, we'll back that up. It tells you about a woman with 12 stars. That's talking about Israel in Revelation 12. All right, come on.
And stamped upon them.
And stamped upon them, meaning what? They conquered Israel and they Hellenized them. all right, like we was reading earlier, they stamped upon it. They forced their customs and philosophies on a lot of Israel. And the ones they didn't force, they went willingly for fear of death, for fear of being literally stamped. All right, go ahead.
Yeah, he magnified himself even to the prince of the host.
Go ahead.
And by him the daily sacrifice was taken away.
Go ahead.
And the place of his sanctuary was cast down. And an host was given him against the daily sacrifice.
See that? So it said what? The daily sacrifice was taken away. Well, we read that in 1 Maccabees, the 1st chapter. They defiled the sanctuary and they defiled the daily sacrifice. Right, go ahead.
By reason of transgression.
By wicked Israelites that joined unto him. A host was given unto him. Right, meaning sellouts joined with him. Right, go ahead.
And it cast down the truth to the ground.
Go ahead.
And it practiced and prospered.
Now remember we read earlier how there was a lot of depression. A lot of people was angry in Israel. They was hurt. That's what it's talking about. It cast down the truth to the ground. They defiled the temple. They put swine and different unclean beasts on the altar in the temple. Come on.
Then I heard one saint speaking. And another saint said unto that certain saint which spake, how long shall be the vision concerning the daily sacrifice and the transgression of desolation, to give both the sanctuary and the host to be trodden underfoot?
Go ahead.
And he said unto me, unto 2,300 days, then shall the sanctuary be cleansed. And it came to pass.
That's it on that. From the time that Antiochus invaded Jerusalem until the time that it was cleansed, it was about it's like a 6 year and change period. That's what he's talking about with the 2,300 days and all that time frame. That's what he's talking about. All right, and it said the sanctuary will be cleansed, like we read in 1 Maccabees 4:36. All right, what happened?
We better.
Oh, that's me.
Oh.
Yeah. All right. So read it again. Go ahead.
Come. Verse 15. And it came to pass.
That's it. No, that's it on that.
Come.
So first, Daniel's 8:14 with 1 Maccabees 4:36. All right, with the cleansing of the temple. That's when the prophecy was fulfilled. All right, so Daniel's the 8th chapter is the precursor to the fulfillment of the Maccabees. So you want to say Hanukkah is a Jewish custom? Where's that in the Bible? Where's that? You don't know the history. You don't know the scriptures, and you don't know the basic history. Right? With all I get understanding. All right. Now cap it off with your H.O.I. St. John, if you read the New Testament, come on. Give me St. John 10:22. Come on, if you're a brother or sister that believe in the New Testament, come on. You just gonna skip right over what it said. Yeah, you're gonna skip right over what your H.O.I. said right here and call this a Jewish Christmas.
Jewish Christmas. Never heard that one.
That's disrespectful, man.
Right.
That's disrespectful to your H.O.I. St. John 10:22.
Come. This is the book of St. John, chapter 10, verse 22. And it was at Jerusalem, the feast of the dedication.
Right, at Jerusalem, the feast of the dedication. Good.
And it was winter.
It was what?
Winter.
It was winter. All right, that's the season that we in. All right. That damn Las Vegas feeling like New York.
Yeah.
Damn it, what the hell is going on out here? Especially 2 weeks ago when we was here. It was damn near colder then. But you know, last night, man, by the time we left camp, it's different, man. I was like, yo, we getting out of here, hot. You know, earlier it was alright, it wasn't that bad. Man, after that 11, 12 o'clock, 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, it was brick. I was saying, brothers like, yo, cut the car, cut the heat on. God, but you know, we toughed it out to get the word out a little bit. Brothers like, we did our due diligence for the Most High, Yahweh, let's go, man.
God.
My body need to feel some heat, you know? All right. Shalom, sis. All right, go ahead.
All right, shalom, sister.
Shalom. St. John 10, 22, 23.
Khan. And H.O.I walked in the temple in Solomon's porch.
Right, so he walked into the temple, and y'all can read the rest of the chapter on your own. Solomon walked into the temple. He started reasoning and teaching the people. Reasoning with and teaching the people. All right, so you can't get around it, man. It's there. You know, it's there, though. The facts are there. You know, now, if you still don't want to get with it, that's on you. All right, but it's there. You know, the Feast of Dedication, that is one of our feasts that the Most High gave us. He added to the calendar. You know, you are no one to tell the Most High he can't add to the calendar. You can't tell the Most High, because it's not in Leviticus 23 that it can't happen later in history. Right. You're not in no position to tell the Most High that.
Khan.
He does what the hell he want to do.
Break it out, Elder.
If he want to add 10 more feast days, he can do that. Khan?
Khan.
So, you know, that's it. But we're not here to argue and go back and forth. But, you know, that sometimes they will attack you. You know, these brothers and sisters will attack you because you're doing the feast. You know, that's wicked. You know, if you don't agree, just say, yo, nah, I don't see Hanukkah, I don't see Feast of Dedication as a feast that we should keep. You know, I'm scared to look like Christmas. But you know, don't attack other brothers and sisters, and you should never try to debate it. Because I run across these brothers and sisters, and they can't explain the scriptures when you pull them out. Well, what does Daniel's 8 mean, brother? You know what I'm saying? Can you show me enough? What is St. John 10:22 talking about? You know, so if you don't agree that we should acknowledge the Feast of Dedication or the Chaanakah, you should never try to debate it with brothers, though. You should never do that, because you're not going to be able to explain them verses. You know? Okay? All right, so that's it on that. Any questions, comments? Anybody want to bring out anything? I think we had a decent time service, you know, some edification. If you learn one thing tonight, we've done our job. And, you know, we're going to pray out and then get into the fellowship. Khan? Khan. Y'all saying Khan because y'all happy it's over? All right, Israel. Study your scriptures, man, so you don't be bored when the word is coming out. And go over these notes, man. Go over these notes, because the Spirit going to manifest who's going over their notes tonight. Okay? All right, and it's really no excuse. Go back over the video. You know, you can pause it, put it back, start it all over again. Oh, I missed that, man. I ain't hear when the priest said that. I ain't hear when the brother brought out that precept. Oh, let me get that now. So you can know. Good? Yes. Bring your hand up.
I was going to ask, what is Hanukkah all about?
Huh?
For the kids.
Start the lesson a little bit. She just feel like talking. She just feel like hearing herself talk. All right.
It's a simple way for the kids. Somebody came into your house, destroyed your stuff, and you beat them up and kicked them out. And they're celebrating.
No, I know her. She just want to talk. All right. So that's that. Khan? All right. Where's everyone? Get them in here so we can go into prayer. Your car in the way?
No, her wheelchair stuck.
You need another brother?
We'll see. I'll see in a bit.
I don't know. He said he'll see. He might have it.
It's a wheelchair stuff.
He said he might have it himself.
This one is electric. You John is heavy. You're going to need like 5 brothers.
He got it?
Yeah.
It probably was like something he had to pivot or whatever.
Lifting them chairs and load,
Hold on.
I'm still alive.
Brief intermission.
Huh?
It's a brief intermission.
Yeah, brief intermission. Movie intermission. Like stuck it, crack or something. Yeah, right. And the sister. Brief intermission. Any questions or comments online?
All the comments.
Huh?
I was just gonna say we forgot. We don't do
No, not something recent. Shalom. Brother, please, I don't know how to reach you guys. Brother, you talking to us right now. What do you mean you don't know how to reach us? Huh? You're on Facebook. You can send an inbox, brother. Facebook has a messenger feature. All right, you can Facebook Messenger us.
Oh, stay with the classic line.
Yeah. I don't know, brother. I don't know how to reach you guys. You're talking to me right now, brother.
Oh.
All right.
Oh. I have to laugh.
Any more questions or kind anybody online? Everybody just basically going along with us. Shalom, True Nation. Brothers from True Nation, Shalom. Shalom, Yawasab, H.O.I, New York City. Shalom, Sister Dorothy. Shalom, Zamira. At least strategize with each other. The top elders when things go down. Well, possibly, but a lot of these elders want to tell you they're only looking out for their own. Alaka is on there. Alaka, you got about 50 damn comments, huh?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Brother Alaka is in the building. Been there all about that 100 comments.
He agreeing.
Yeah, Alaka, we go way back. Way back in the time. Karate Zaya, Shalom says, H.O.I Detroit. Ashar Chaanakah Nathan, H.O.I New York, New Jersey. Shalom Sierra, hope you're feeling well, sis. Shalom Kazak, Ashar, H.O.I Blue City. Alright. Brother Tony Douglas, Shalom. Quick judgment. Shalom Jamming. Jamming in the building. Shalom.
I gotta hit you up, brother.
Jamming was in the building. Shalom. Jamming should be out here. Shalom Ari. H.O.I Atlanta in the building. Shalom Lindell. Shalom Sister Nabi. Shalom. Some of y'all may not still be on here. Alright. Shalom, Sister Ada. even though you're here now. She must have been watching on her way. Shawapar is in the building. No, Ila's in the building, Shalom. Household of Shawapar. H.O.I. in the building, Shalom. Shalom, Isaiah. Shalom, everybody. Shalom, Wordmaster. Shalom, Yaladan, H.O.I. Philly in the building. Shalom. Shalom, Amina. Shalom, H.O.I. Philly in the building. Shalom, whoever that is, Khalil. All right. Shalom, sister, my sister in Trinidad. Trinidad is in the building, watching from Trinidad. Shalom, Brother Marcus. Hip Hop Quotables. Shalom, family. Shalom, Daniela, H.O.I. Buffalo in the building. All right. Who else is there? Shalom, Karakazaya again. Levi Israel in the building. Shalom, Sister Tish. All right, Shalom. You and EJ should have been here. And the family.
Yeah.
Shalom.
I guess they're gonna let us see them too.
Khan Judah in the building. Shalom. Greetings from Vegas. Y'all out there in Chicago. Keep it warm. They still helping the sister?
I'm assuming.
Matafibo in the building. H.O.I. Philly. Shalom. That's it. That's the beginning of the comments. Shalom, everybody. Any new comments? Up there. Shalom, Shai is on there. Shemaiah Benjamin, Shalom, H.O.I. New York, New Jersey in the building. Arel Smith, Shalom, in the building. Karen Judah again, Shalom. Jonathan Mackey, Shalom, Yawasap, Shalom, H.O.I. New York City in the building. H.O.I. New City, Kazakh again. Oh, he said, okay, thanks. I heard from the Netherlands, but I used to follow or your teachers. Thanks. All right, get in touch with me right here, brother. H.O.I. Netherlands in the building.
Right.
Wow.
German, H.O.I. Los Angeles in the building.
Oh, he is on there?
Yeah, everybody gave me a shout out back.
Hey. Shalom.
Jonathan Mackey, when will this video be posted? It's posted now, brother. It's live. I love y'all, Israel.
Israel, man.
Y'all, when will this video be posted? Brother Jonathan Mackey, shalom, brother. The video is posted right now, brother. When I turn the video off, it's officially on my page, but it's been posted the whole time. It's live. Jonathan Mackey, we love you, brother. Shalom.
Special people. Peculiar people.
Tommy Davenport, Shalom. Douglas Wilson, Shalom. Alaka come in the building, Shalom. That's about it. Jonathan Mackey, this video is posted now. Maybe you mean, do you mean,
What are you talking about, YouTube?
meaning would it be posted to YouTube? Maybe a day or two. Rob Judah has to edit it.
I think he want to hit the rewind button, but he can't because he's live.
I think you actually can.
Oh, you real funny. You real funny.
You can go to the actual video and just rewind it.
Yeah, you can go on the actual video and rewind it. Yeah, while it's live.
Yeah, because I
Yeah.
watch a lot of live stuff.
Yeah, I watch a lot of
pause it
stuff. Yeah, you can pause it and everything. Yeah. You can go back and then go back to the part that they at.
Yeah, I didn't really try it. I just,
Yeah.
if I miss it, I
You
just
can
wait
you can rewind it while it's actually still live. All right, can somebody see what's we want to do the prayer and close out?
YouTube.
Yep.
Any questions while we in this little intermission?
All the way back to
Oh, he mean for review, but yeah, it'll be posted right here, brother Jonathan Mackey. It'll be posted here. Once, well, yeah, you can rewind it now, but either way, it'll be right here posted on this page. It'll be on H.O.I. Once Rob Judah edits the other. I just go live on Facebook as a backup, but Rob got the actual video that he edits and everything. Alright? Anybody know what's going on?
Nah, some told me we gonna take
Huh?
the other brother went out there.
Yeah, you got Rob.
All the brothers. They kind of whipped that man. That's what I'm saying. They probably done froze.
Is he trying to lift the sister onto the van?
Maybe they're trying to lift the wheelchair up.
Yeah, that's gonna be too much.
We're gonna need like 5, 6 Everything all right?
Her chair still won't move. Her chair won't turn.
See, I think that thing froze.
Is the cold?
It's the lock or something. I don't
Is the cold?
Probably
It's the cold.
frozen.
We should have brought it. They should have brought it in and brought it to the. Oh boy. We gonna have to call the fire department?
Cause she was saying just to push it on the bus, and when she get home, she'll push it off the bus, but the lady, the transportation lady don't wanna do that because she's gonna be stuck when she drop her off at home, she's gonna have to push the chair, and that chair is heavy, but she said she can push it out.
I understand. That's the policy when you're dealing with wheelchairs.
Yeah.
So she said she put the brake on it.
They gotta protect their jobs.
Right.
And now she can't unlock it to take the brake off before it can move.
Oh.
Yeah, she
I
gonna
think it froze.
dispatch. She
It
probably
froze.
got the dispatch and I got a broken down wheelchair, etc.
Well,
Rob,
tell her.
Rob Judah know about that stuff.
Yeah, that's why I already got them.
Well, tell them to come in so we can at least do the closing prayer. And
They
then,
all trying to unlock it and put it on the bus. I don't know.
oh,
Oh, they got it.
Seems like they forgot about the prayer.
fine.
They come.
What, did they pour some hot water on it? Make it defrost?
That thing froze.
That thing
Think
froze.
That boat froze.
Right.
Damn. East Coast like Vegas weather.
They still can't really get it to move on its own.
Kind.
Is it dead?
The battery or something?
No, it's like a break, one of the brakes or something is on. They don't know how to get it out.
Oh boy, okay. Good luck here. Been a long weekend.
Right.
Still going. Did they get it?
But they didn't get the wheelchair.
She gonna have to dispatch. Got a broken down wheelchair.
You know what? Whoever's not helping, just come in and let's do the closing prayer. But whoever's not helping, come inside. We don't need you to go outside and just look. If you're not helping, come in. Let's do the closing prayer. This way we can, they can handle that or whatever.
Right. She's on the bus. I don't know why they still out there. I told them.
Because she gotta get off the bus and she gotta push it upstairs. She got apartments that she gotta go and catch the elevator upstairs. So it's not like they drop it off.
They have to call,
You got to dispatch them.
they have to dispatch somebody, yeah, or call the fire department.
I'm pretty sure they got somebody to work on it.
I'm sure
The
she
fire
would.
department can probably take it.
And Rob
They can get
Judah,
the break off.
he drive buses as well, so I'm sure he
Yeah.
did that too.
Right.
They probably just trying to help, but
It ain't nothing else they really can do.
there's nothing else. They gotta call somebody out now. All right.
That's why you don't understand.
Right.
All right, you know what? Just huh?
She said that.
Okay.
All right.
All right. So we're gonna do the closing prayers. Everybody coming in?
Yeah. He don't know.
All right. Imagine Maprenya Yerushalayim. Stand and face Jerusalem for closing prayers. Everybody's in?
Yeah. Go get the brothers. Go get the other brothers. Go get my phone.
Did they
Lock it though, cause my phone. She's gonna get home and still can't
move it?
Well, she said she'll work it out.
Yeah, they'll call somebody when they get it. They can dispatch somebody to unlock it or whatever. Alright, the east is this way, like on an angle. Diagonal. See how I'm doing?
Like where the flowers at?
Where the flowers at? Yeah. Okay. No, not for y'all. For y'all, it's like that way.
Oh, for us, it's this way.
Towards the
No,
corner of the
towards
house.
the corner of the house.
Where the door post.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah. Alright, just regulate the door, and as they come in, let them be quiet.
Calm.
Alright? Alright, closing prayer. Hallelujah.
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 Repeat the Hebrew only. Blessed are you, Yahweh, that gives us the fruit of the vine. Barakatha Yahweh.
Barakatha Yahweh.
Ahawa'ah. Atananawa. Apaya. Agapen. Ba'ashem. Hamashiach. Yahushua. The water. Yad. Avalon. Hallelujah. 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 La Yahweh, La Yahushua, La Yasha'ala, La Chaanakah, Ba'ashem Mashiach Yahushua, Dam Yahushua, Blood of Yahushua, Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Repeat the Hebrew only. Blessed are you, Yahweh, that gives us the law. Barakatha Yahweh,
Barakatha Yahweh.
Ahawa'ah, Atananawa, Blessed are you, Yahweh, that gives us the light to see. Barakatha Yahweh, Ahawa'ah, Atananawa, Lara'ah. Blessed are you, Yahweh, that gives us the ram's horn to call the people. Barakatha Yahweh, Ahawa'ah, Atananawa, Akwaran, Washawapah, Wakwara, Ha'ain, Ba'ashem, Hamashiach, Yahushua, Wada, Yad, Avalon, Hallelujah. 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 Four corners prayer. Yahweh. Ba'ashem. Hamashiach. Yahushua. Raknawa. Wahabiyat Sapaya. Shema. Yashua. Yahweh. Hear, O Israel, Yahweh, power, Yahweh is one. Deuteronomy 6, verse 4, Credo of Israel. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Blessed O Most High Yahweh, Ba'ashem Mashiach Yahushai. Please watch over Israel. Bless us, all the school, camps, congregations that are in Yahushai throughout the four corners of the earth. Most High, Ba'ashem Mashiach Yahushai, the water of man. Hallelujah.
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 Blessing of the Hanukkah. Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Ba'ashem.
Ba'ashem.
Mashiach.
Mashiach.
Yahushai.
Yahushai.
Baruch
Baruch
Barak.
Barak.
Chanakah.
Chanakah.
Barak.
Barak.
Shabbat.
Shabbat.
Barak.
Barak.
Rum.
Rum.
Yawam.
Yawam.
Barak.
Barak.
Chag. Chanakah.
Chanakah.
Mayasha'ala.
Mayasha'ala.
Baruch
Baruch
Ba'ashem.
Ba'ashem.
Mashiach.
Mashiach.
Yahushai.
Yahushai.
The water. Avalon. Hallelujah.
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 Sisters, come up, get anointed. Sisters, all the sisters, babies too. All of them. Come get your blessing. Choose first. Brothers, fall to the back. Brothers, Shemai.
Just thinking that.
All right, form a line, which I get y'all oil. Yeah, have them straight. So it don't drip. You got, no, you good. You have them straight so it don't drip. Yeah, there you go. You have them straight. Unless you got 10 times tall. All right, line up, sisters, up here. That's all the sisters? All right, so, most of y'all sisters been anointed before. For the ones of y'all that might be new, we're going to anoint y'all. We're going to say the anointing prayer, blessing over y'all, Numbers 6:22-27. This is a general prayer that the Most High told Aaron and Moses to say over the children of Israel to bless them. As sisters in the Most High, as we praying over y'all, you ask for strength, guidance, whatever you might be going through, health, financial, any issues, problems at the job, problems at home. Here's the time you ask the Most High to bless you, guide you through those things. Just overall make you a better person, better sister, wife, daughter of the Most High, mother, whatever the case may be. Okay? You should do this regularly, but now is the time as we acting as the men of the Lord, praying over you. Okay? Give you the anointing blessing that the Most High gave us out of the scriptures. All right, so anointing prayer, Yeshaya and Yahweh repeat after me. Only the brothers repeat after me. Brothers in the back, silence until it's your turn. Have respect for the sister's prayer. And only Yeshaya and Yahweh repeat after me. Anointing prayer, Numbers 6:22-23 in the Paleo Hebrew. Yabaraki Yahweh,
Yabaraki Yahweh,
Shamarka,
Shamarka,
Ya'al Yahweh,
Ya'al Yahweh,
Pan Yahweh,
Pan Yahweh,
Ayaka,
Ayaka,
Wayachanka,
Wayakanka,
Yasha'al Yahweh,
Yasha'al Yahweh,
Pan Yahweh,
Pan Yahweh,
Ayaka,
Ayaka,
Wayashamlaka,
Ayashamyaka,
Shalom,
Shalom,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Ba'ashem,
Ba'ashem,
Hamashiach,
Hamashiach,
Yahushai,
Yahushai,
Baruch Hushai,
Baruch Hushai,
Shemai,
Shemai,
Nawa,
Nawa,
Aita,
Aita,
Shalak,
Shalak,
Ma'ika'ala,
Ma'ika'ala,
Walahayim,
Walahayim,
La,
La,
Shema'el,
Shema'el,
Barak,
Barak,
Rapah,
Rapah,
Hazar,
Hazar,
Magun,
Magun,
Kazak,
Kazak,
Atazayah,
Atazayah,
Kwawa,
Kwaya,
Maleric, Maleric, Maleric,
Adad,
Maya,
hold on, the baby.
Maya,
Maya, Maya, Maya,
Adad,
Ada,
Adad,
Ada,
Adad,
Ada,
Sabra,
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 Sabra.
Sabra. Yeah, I forgot, Salakia sisters, when we point to y'all, you say your name 3 times.
Mila,
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 Angela,
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 Angela, Angela,
Zara,
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 Katharia,
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 Raylan,
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 Raylan, Raylan, Kama, Kama, Kama,
Yasala,
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 Zamora,
Zamora, Zamora, Zamora, Zanai, 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 Shannon, 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 Zakara, 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 Cole,
Ko,
Akim,
Akim,
Cole,
Ko,
Aquafium,
Agwathim,
Cole,
Ko,
Bunyam,
Bunyam,
Yasha'ala,
Yasha'ala,
Bahashim,
Bahashim,
Hamashiach,
Hamashiach,
Yahushua,
Yahushua,
the water,
the water,
Yah,
I will know.
Brothers, Akim,
Bear, where you at?
I got it.
It's right here.
No, hold your head up so line up, brothers, as y'all get y'all oil. Huh? You scared? Hold on. You have to do it before. Little air from the building. Line up, line up, line up. Y'all got all that space down here. Make it run. Huh?
Yeah.
Okay. Sister Shemai, please. Are you still in prayer mode? All right, brother, same thing. Anointing prayer number 6, 22 to 27. You know, we in trying times, brothers, so we need it. We need to be strong for ourselves, our women, our children, our nation. So, you know, take this prayer serious. Meditate on all the things that, you know, we need to do better as men, brothers, fathers, soldiers for the Most High, Yahushua. Anything you're going through, anything you're weak in, ask for the Most High, you know, strengthen you. You know, anything that's troubling you, I ask the Most High to lift that weight off of you. And now is the time to meditate on those things. Okay? All right, as we praying over y'all, you meditate to the Most High. And you should be doing this on your own every day. Okay? Hallelujah. Number 6, 22 to 27. Only Yahweh and Yeshaya repeat after me. Anointing prayer. Yabaraki Yahweh. Vaya Chaanakah. Ya'al Yahweh. Pan Yahweh. Al Yakah. Vaya Hanukkah. Yashar Yahweh. Pan Yahweh. Al Yakah. Vaya Chaanakah. Shalom. Yahweh. Hashem. Hamashiach. Yahushua. Baruch Shema. Nawa. Haita. Shalak. Ma'ika'ala. Walahayim, La, Shema'el, Barak, Rapal, Aizah, Magun, Kazak, Ataziyah, Kwawa, Zakari, Anthony, Rashad, Tobiah, Yashua, Kyrie, Carson, Joseph, Rob Judah, Yeshaya, Yahweh, Zabak, Ko, Akim, Akwafim, Ko, Bunyam, Yasha'ala, all the brothers and sisters that tuned in on the live, all of Israel throughout the four corners of the earth, by Hashem, Hamashiach, Yahweh Shai, the water, the Yad, Avalon, Hallelujah.
Come on.
Everybody, imagine again, stand, face the east, and pray for the food. Ready? Shema. Oh, Salakia, real quick, somebody read, number 6, 22 to 27. Read that. Shema. We're still within the midst of prayer mode. We're almost home, Israel. A little bit of patience.
Yeah. This is the book of Numbers, chapter 6, starting at verse 22. And Yahweh spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto Aaron and unto his sons, saying, On this wise ye shall bless the children of Israel, saying unto them, Yahweh bless thee and keep thee. Yahweh make his face shine upon thee and be gracious unto thee. Yahweh lift up his countenance upon thee and give thee peace. And they shall put my name upon the children of Israel, and I will bless them. Hallelujah.
God, prayer for the food and the drink. Yahweh. Hashem. Hamashiach. Yahushua. Barak. Noah. Akol. Shaddai. Yayin. Kazak. Shaddai. Barak. Noah. Chaanakah. Rum. Shabbat. Kol. Kagim. Mayasha'ala. Kusha. Hashem. Mashiach. Yahushua. The water. Yad. Sisters turn, brothers face the sisters, salute each other. Akim Yasha'ala, salute the Akwafium Yasha'ala. Amajim, Barak, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Mashiach, Yahushua, Shema Thun, Sisters Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Mashiach, Yahushua, Shema Thun. Alright, English translation, Most High in the name of Yahushua, Most High in the name of who the world ignorantly calls Christ, watch over you. And y'all said the same thing back to us. Kwame Ashar. Sisters be seated. Akim. Nice strong salute. Akim Yasha'ala. Haji. Barak. Yahweh Hashem Yahshua Brakathum. Kwame Ashar. We got next. How long? Forever. What we gonna do? Take the kingdom. What we gonna do? Take the kingdom. What we gonna do? Take the kingdom. When? Now. How?
Ba'ashem Mashiach Yahushua.
How?
Ba'ashem Mashiach Yahushua.
Damn it, how?
Ba'ashem Mashiach Yahushua.
Kwame Shalom. H.O.I.
To the chariot fly.
H.O.I.
To the chariot fly.
H.O.I.
To the chariot fly. Ba'ashem. Mashiach. Yahushua.
Kwame Shalom.
Kwame Shalom.
Shalom. Good salute, brothers and sisters. Salakia. All praise to Yahweh B'Ashem Mashiach Yahushua. Ashar. Chaanakah. All right. Even though it's your duty, the water for everybody coming out. All right, doing your part to make the feast a success. Brothers and sisters, always put your spirit into it. Put your spirit into the lesson. Pay attention to what's going on. Come in decency and order. And let's build as a body. We're looking for serious brothers and sisters in these last days. Well, all the time, to build this nation. We're living in serious times, and we got to be serious about serving our power. We sent up a prayer for the brothers and sisters that couldn't make it, that wanted to be here but couldn't. A few people had to cancel for whatever reason, good, bad, or ugly. Israel, don't make excuses to serve the Most High. If you put off the Most High to do some other folly, then, He gonna deal with you. All right? It's required for us to serve our power. So don't make lame excuses. Don't lie, and don't tell us what you think you want us to hear, because we're not the Most High. You can say whatever to us, but He's watching.
That's right.
So be sincere and do what you need to do for this truth and this work. All right?
Bring it out.
Don't be lame, man, because the Most High see right through that. Like I said, you can say whatever to us. We're gonna be here if it's two of us. But be sincere when it comes to serving the Most High.
That's right.
All right, stop with the dog ate my homework. All right, so all praise to Yahweh, Yahushua. I'm excited. I'm ready to eat, drink, and be merry. And Hanukkah is a season of remembering our forefathers or whatever the case may be. Purim is the time that we more so that the scriptures mention us giving gifts, but there's nothing wrong if you want to give a gift. And my gift to y'all is love.
That's right. Oh, Charlotte.
And being here, goddammit, that's right. All praise to Yahweh, Yahushua.
All praises.
We are each other's gift, So everybody eat, drink, be merry. Tomorrow is part 2 to tonight's lesson, and also the new moon 10th month. So we'll be gathering at the other timeshare over where Brother Rob Judah and Sister Adaz at. That'll be around 8 p.m. I don't know, brothers mentioned about wanting to do some camp before, but I don't know. It might be a tight day for me. You know what I'm saying? And that's pushing it, because we get out there and shut down at 12 o'clock at night. Spirit be rolling. So everybody basically got a free day tomorrow in the morning. If you want to link up, it's fine. But you got a free day till the evening. We're going to link up and do part 2 of the lesson on the Maccabees and the new moon. And I guess nobody's staying here, so we're going to need everybody to clear all this stuff out. I guess we can use some of this tomorrow. Y'all can decorate the other room with it. We tried. We offered We was like, we got an Airbnb, you can stay, you know. So everybody else got rooms and timeshares and stuff. So all praises, man. It's a blessing to be out here. The water to Vegas for y'all hospitality. Call me Ashala.
Shala.
All right.
H.O.I. Vegas.
The water to LA and everybody that came out. Yeshaya is like H.O.I. International.
International, that's a
You can't
bad.
give him a state, man. You can't get that man a state. That man is Memphis, but that man is international.
International.
He's beyond Memphis, man. You know what I'm saying? That man will tap you on your shoulder in any city.
Yeah.
All right, so H.O.I. International in the building.
He's a real puller boy. Real
The
puller.
water to all of y'all, H.O.I. Vegas, H.O.I. Los Angeles, and all you brothers and sisters. Well, regardless of where you came from, the water for your efforts, and Kwame Ashala.
Kwame Ashala.
All right, so everybody eat, drink, be merry. You know, it seems to be a good amount of food. Don't let it go to waste. And you know, if you know, I guess we can save some if it's left for tomorrow. I know a lot of y'all cooking fresh dishes for tomorrow too. So all praise to Yahweh and Yahweh Shai. All right, Ashar. Chaanakah.
Chaanakah.
Happy Hanukkah, day 5. Kwame Shalom.
You want to say anything?
Shalom, Kwame Ashala. Happy Hanukkah 2020, day 5. Viva Las Vegas, H.O.I. Las Vegas, H.O.I. LA in the building. Kwame Ashala.
Kwame Ashala.
Anybody want to say anything?
You want to say anything? Sin City? Sin City in the house?
For Sin City.
Yeah, Sin City.
To all the Akim out there, from the brothers from Sin City. Speaking on the behalf of Las Vegas, man, we love you brothers, man. Stay diligent in the faith, and we be praying for you brothers.
That's right, that's right.
As well, man.
That's right. Mr. International, the real pull-up boy. State to state pull-up boy.
I just want to say Ashar Chaanakah and Shalom to the body out there that's watching. And hey, I hope you doing what we doing.
That's right.
Yo, hey, we about to get some yayan.
That's right, that's right.
And some strong.
That's right.
Shalom.
Shalom.
Strong in the freezer.
It's Rob Judah of H.O.I. Los Angeles, putting this truth from the East Coast and the West Coast. You know, taking down all these Christians, bringing our people back to the truth, who they really are. And that's all we do is pushing this truth, man. We're getting rid of all the naysayers. We got everybody shaking in their boots. We got the fake Jews shaking in their boots because we coming out into this truth. We telling everybody that we the real Jews. You know what I mean? So
Right.
We got them shaking in their boots.
They
you know
can't
what I mean?
Nick Cannon us.
Yeah, they can't Nick Cannon us. So you know what I mean? So we international, man. We taking on all comers, man, all naysayers, and we can prove our stuff in the scripture and other books out there. So Israel, wake up. Y'all there, Christian church, come back to your power. This is Mashiach Yahweh Shah.
All praises.
All praises to the Most High. Mashiach Yahweh Shah.